At the time I'm making this, Luka Doncic is averaging near a 40-point triple double. And meanwhile, Dallas Mavericks are currently last in the Western Conference. Yes, dead last. Now, I wasn't going to originally make this video to talk about this because I know that it's already been a topic that's been hammered out over the last couple of months. But I just saw the Dallas Mavericks fail to break 100 points against the New Orleans Pelicans. A New Orleans Pelicans team without Zion, without Misi, a Pelicans team that a couple games ago was 0-6. I somehow feel really bad for Dallas Mavericks fans, and that's something I didn't think I would say, especially 2 years after they reached the NBA Finals, right? I kind of found Dallas Mavericks fans to be really annoying about the Luka versus Trey trade because I was a big Trey Young fan watching him play in Oklahoma, and Luka fans and Mavericks fans wouldn't shut up about that. I can't believe that it seems that everything that, like, it's like this trade angered the basketball gods in a way that a human being would upset the gods of Olympus or Zeus, and we would tell this tale to our children and their children's children. This feels like what this trade is about to be, because no matter how you slice it, the Luka trade will never make sense. I don't think it would ever make sense. I've never seen a team. It's hard for me to remember a team that went to the NBA Finals get decimated like this immediately. It's really hard to, like, we watched the Last Dance and whatnot, and that's like Michael Jordan retired, right? It's not like Michael Jordan immediately got traded. And it's wild because every time the Mavericks play, I see longtime Mavericks fans struggling to comprehend that this is the timeline that they're living in. And I get it. As someone that knows peak sports pain, this is something that I've never experienced throughout all of the teams that I root for, honestly. Yes, my team has made bad trades. My team has not traded future Hall of Famers that you expected to be with the franchise forever. I'm trying to think across the teams that I root for, and I can't think of a scenario where that happened. Now, I was talking in Playback chat. Playback TV is a streaming platform where you could do watch-along parties with NBA games and stuff. If you want to follow me there, feel free to follow me there. And I was talking with Playback chat, and I always was critical of Troy Weaver, and I'll always talk and be like, yes, Troy Weaver was that bad. But then I had a question, and I was like, do you think that Troy Weaver would have made the Luka Doncic trade? And I think the overwhelming consensus was no. And Troy Weaver, for me, is one of the worst GM experiences that I've ever had to go through. And I don't believe that Troy Weaver would do that. And I think that says a lot to how wild this trade is, because it wasn't just trading away Luka. It was getting rid of everybody that Luka even remotely liked in the organization, and then getting rid of him. That's where it gets really feels kind of Game of Thronesy, when you get rid of everyone's allies and make them feel all alone in Casterly Rock, and then you depose them. Depose? I think it's depose. And here's the thing, man. This start is so dismal that it has erased all of the hype around Cooper Flagg. And for those of you guys that have been following Cooper Flagg since high school, he's one of the most hyped prospects ever. The last hyped prospect like Cooper Flagg, you can say, was Zion Williamson. Because we've known about Cooper Flagg for years. And teams were tanking for Cooper Flagg. You had the Wizards get involved. You had all of these teams be like, I'm tanking for Cooper Flagg. The Nets had their first pick in a decade, and they were like, maybe it's Cooper Flagg time. First lottery pick in a decade or whatnot. Everybody wanted to tank for Cooper Flagg. And then being able to see the look on my face and the look on everybody's face in the sports bar when the Mavericks were somehow rewarded with the #1 pick. And a lot of people were like, oh man, the NBA's rigged. Adam Silver rigged it for the Mavericks because he wanted Luka in the late. No, I don't believe that. You know why? Because that doesn't make any sense. I don't think Nico Harrison is a smart enough GM to even benefit from Cooper Flagg. He has to go. He has to leave. It is unacceptable that this trade got made, not because of basketball acumen, strategy, whatnot, but because of jealousy and pettiness. That's one of the major downfalls of being a GM. And everything about this, like they said that Luka was too injury prone and out of shape. And then they traded for one of the most injury prone players of this generation, bro. And I'm not here to pile on Anthony Davis, all right? But Anthony Davis, Lakers fans knew that it was hard to watch a lot of playoff games, a lot of regular season games, because there would often be a moment where Anthony Davis would be hobbling around, he'd get banged up, right? Because he's playing down low and playing in the paint, a position where he doesn't want to play center. And I understand with how banged up he gets, he's more of a power forward. Totally get that. But the thing that drives me up a wall, that's my new favorite phrase, by the way, up a wall, it drives me up a wall, is that Nico Harrison used this trade because he said defense wins championships. That's what he wants to, like. But here's the thing about all of these past champions. It's a mix. Every single recent champion, it's a mix of defense and offense. It's never been just defense, guys. It's never been that. Like, look at the Thunder from last year, okay? 4th points per game in offense. 4th in offense, 3rd in defense. They won a championship. It's offense and defense, okay? Look at the Celtics, man. 2nd in points per game. So 2nd in offense, 5th in defense, guys. This is why it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, man. Nuggets, 12th in offense, 8th in defense. All right. The Nuggets, it's like, it wasn't just 100% defense. That's never been how championships have been built. All right. The Warriors team, 15th in offense, 3rd in defense. Still, it's a defensive team. That offense is still average. Offense is still average at least. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. 1st in offense, 22nd in defense, guys. 6th in offensive rating, 10th in defensive rating. Okay? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get the whole defense wins championships. And I know the phrase defense wins championships. I know it's a saying. I know that it is true at some point. But it's just, you have to combine both, man. Because if you look at the Dallas Mavericks, bro, after 8 games, they're currently last in offensive rating and 4th in defensive rating. And their net rating is 26 out of 30, bro. Their offense is so offensive. It's so offensive to the game of basketball currently. And this is the team. This is one of the teams that, and the thing is that Nico Harrison had a whole offseason to help this out. And I know that Kyrie Irving's out. I know that Derek Lively's currently out. I know that Anthony Davis is out. But still, this roster is not helping any call. And the other thing is that a lot of people on this roster would severely benefit from having Luka on their team. Notably, Lively, Gafford, PJ Washington. The thing about this roster, Klay Thompson came to the Mavericks because he knew that he would get so many open threes from Luka's gravity. That's the upsetting part about all of this, is that you traded a guy away. If you knew that you were going to trade away for this guy after a while, why did you keep going after players that fit his play style? Make it make sense to me, right? I had to watch Daniel Gafford hook shots against the Pelicans today. When Daniel Gafford is playing with Luka, it's more of a lob threat thing. Same with Lively. And now that Luka is gone, these players have had to adapt their playing style on offense entirely, or change their play style on offense entirely. And the thing is that I do not mind the Cooper Flagg point guard experiment. I don't mind it. I just find it we just didn't have to be in this situation. We didn't have to be in this situation at all. This could have easily been avoided by a couple smarter offseason signings. Like, Cooper Flagg's listed as a point guard, and due to the fact that there's not much guard play or shot making on this roster, you're making everybody's life harder with this roster construction and with the utter lack of GM wizardry that we have here. Like, on top of that, the Mavericks are currently last in three-pointers made. They shoot 31% from the three-point land, bro. They are 26th in two-point field goal percentage. They are a poor offensive rebounding team. They don't generate any assists for themselves because they're all not offensively focused here. You can't build a one-sided team. I hate to keep saying this. And the crazy part is that they play at a pretty fast pace. But they're trying to do all these track meets. They're trying to run races and they're missing a track spike. And I know that here Klay Thompson is not gonna, I don't think Klay Thompson's gonna keep shooting 29%. But at the same time, I've been watching Klay Thompson's attempts, and none of the Mavericks teammates or the play calling is really helping him at all. I don't think he's not currently being maximized here. And the thing is that with Jason Kidd, you could easily blame Jason Kidd and be like, yeah, but also Jason Kidd was given this roster because their GM is an absolute moron. And I know that they did that press conference together and whatnot, and how they support it. I don't buy it. Just don't buy it, man. They're really number one in attendance. Wow, I don't. Okay. Oh, by the way, they also allow the most rebounds on defense and the most offensive. They're getting killed on the boards. They're getting killed on the boards, and they're allowing so many two-pointers. It's just not a good recipe. It's not a good recipe for success, especially when your whole thing is predicated toward defense, bro. And the thing that makes it worse is that the Lakers are actually going to be really good, which sucks. I thought the Lakers, it's still early, but the Lakers, Luka's looking great on the Lakers because, surprise, surprise, he's such an offensive elevator, bro. It's crazy that Mavericks fans have to go and watch all these national TV games of a player who should eventually have had their statue outside of the arena. And now they have to play for the most entitled fan base in the league, and maybe even in sports. And the thing here is that I feel like Nico is banking on the health of Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. I feel like he's banking on that. And I don't know, man. That doesn't feel like a safe bet. It feels like the furthest thing from it. It's rare to see a trade happen where it intentionally makes the team older. Because again, Cooper Flagg just fell into their lap. That wasn't planned. Nico Harrison was planning to do this without Cooper Flagg, without the number one pick. He was planning on, remember that now. I think that this trade will get worse and worse over the course of the years. And if this is what Mavericks front office and ownership want, then more power to them. But you are really testing a fan base's patience, man. I just keep being stunned by the fact that this happened. Not to mention, a trade so bad, by the way. Trade so bad, by the way, that Dirk Nowitzki wants nothing to do with the Mavericks for the foreseeable future, bro. He wants nothing to do with them, bro. One of the most Dirk Nowitzki could high key run for mayor of Dallas. Now he wants nothing to do with the organization, and I don't blame him because of how the organization treated both him and Luka. Nico Harrison almost ruined Derek Lively's career by hiring an uncertified medical person, a medical person that didn't have their certifications, and then the two medical people didn't get along, and then the team suffered because of it. Like, there's so much here. If this was a college program, I would be like, this is lack of institutional control. Anyway, I'm just such in shock. I'm sorry, guys.